Hello everyone, my name is Arman Valaee Asr. I am here from CPR101 Section ZFF with Professor Reginald McLean. I hope you all enjoy this presentation about cybersecurity. As you might know, there has been some cyber attacks in the recent times, mostly in the United States and its government and other critical institutions, including security firms. These attacks show us how they may evolve in near future and become more dangerous than what they are. But since we are aware of these risks, we should commit to spearhead a strong and coordinational global cybersecurity response. Actually, United States governments and capital tech sectors will handle it mostly. In the past weeks, the story of an attack on the firm FireEye using malware inserted into network management software provided to customers by tech company SolarWinds has been into the headlines. We should all be prepared for the same stories like this about additional victims in the public sectors and other organizations. As firm I CEO Kevin Mandia stated after disclosing the recent attack, we are witnessing an attack by a nation with top-tier offensive capabilities. The attack is ongoing and is being investigated by public and private sectors, including Microsoft. Microsoft investigations reveal an attack that is remarkable for its scope and impact. The attack unfortunately represents a broad and successful assault on both the confidential information of the US government and the tech tools used by firms to protect them. SolarWinds reported that the attackers installed their malware inside the new upgrade of the company's product that may have been installed by more than 17,000 customers. The initial phase of the attack and the breadth of supply chain vulnerability is illustrated clearly in the map, which is based on Microsoft's Defender antivirus software. This identifies customers who use Defender and who installed versions of SolarWinds Orion software containing the attacker's malware. The attack created a supply chain vulnerability of nearly global importance. The installation of this malware created an opportunity for the attackers to follow up and pick and choose from among these customers the organization they wanted to further attack, which it appears they did in a narrow and more focused fashion. Microsoft has identified and has been notified more than 40 customers that the attackers targeted more precisely. Around 80% of the customers are based in US, but there are also victims in other countries. The initial list of victims includes not only government agencies, but security and other technologies firms as well as non-governmental organizations, as shown in the next slide chart. You can see the recent cyber attack victims by sector in this chart. You can see that 44% of targets were in the information technology sector, including software firms, IT services, and equipment providers. US government targets are involved in finance, national security, health, and telecommunications, while the government contractor victims primarily support defense and national security organizations. As it is obvious to everyone, we need a more effective national and global strategy to protect against cyber attacks. It will need multiple parts, but perhaps most important, it must start with the recognition that government and the tech sector will need to act together. 2021 created an opportunity to turn the page and focus on the collective action that is necessary to cybersecurity protection. Brad Smith, the current president of Microsoft Corporations, explains how things should be done more effectively in the future in order to prevent further cyber attacks. But it's not possible to explain them in such a short time, so I'll stick to the general point. As in the first step, we need to take a major step forward in the sharing and analysis of threat intelligence. Second, we need to strengthen international rules to put reckless national state behavior out of bounds and ensure that domestic laws thwart the rise of the cyber attack ecosystem. Finally, we need stronger steps to hold nation-states accountable for cyber attacks. Governments and private companies have taken stronger steps in recent years to hold nation-states publicly accountable for cyber attacks. At last, here is another quote from Brad Smith that I find very interesting. It says, if there is a common lesson from the past few years, it's the importance of combining ongoing learning with new innovations, greater collaboration, and constant courage. Thank you all for taking your time and listening to me. I hope you enjoyed my presentation and it was useful for you. Thank you so much.